What if your immune system could literally rewrite your brain as you age? Imagine your body's defense mechanisms not just protecting your organs, but actually reshaping the most complex organ in your body, the brain. That's exactly what recent research suggests, and it's blowing open the door to entirely new ways of treating neurological diseases. Let me break this down for you. Here's the thing. Your brain has its own immune cells called microglia, right? They're like the bouncers of the brain, cleaning up debris and fighting infections. But for decades, scientists thought these cells were born and bred exclusively within the brain itself. Then came this shocking discovery. Some of these brain defenders are actually sneaking in from outside, specifically from your bone marrow. And this happens as you get older. The implications? They're huge, and I'll tell you why. Let's talk about the blood-brain barrier. It's like the ultimate bouncer, keeping harmful stuff out of your brain. But here's the twist. As we age, this barrier doesn't just let in bad stuff. It's letting in immune cells from the blood. These aren't random cells. They're specifically microglia-like cells that have migrated from the bone marrow. And the kicker? This process seems to accelerate with age. So what does that mean for your brain's health? Well, microglia are crucial for clearing out plaques and toxins. But if they're coming from a different source, are they doing their job differently? Or worse, could they be contributing to inflammation instead of fighting it? Now, here's where it gets wild. Researchers used a technique called clonal hematopoiesis, which tracks genetic mutations in blood cells over time. They found that these mutations showed up in brain tissue too, proving that bone marrow-derived cells were making their way into the brain. In one case, a person who had a bone marrow transplant had microglia in their brain that matched the transplanted cells. That's not just a lab curiosity, it's a proof of concept. If you can engineer immune cells outside the brain, you might be able to send them into the brain to fight diseases like Alzheimer's. But hold on, this raises a deeper question. If these cells are coming from the blood, are they as effective as the original microglia? Or are they more prone to malfunction because they're not native to the brain environment? Let's zoom out for a second. This discovery isn't just about microglia. It's about rethinking the entire relationship between the immune system and the brain. For years, we treated the brain as an isolated fortress, but now we're seeing it as part of a dynamic, interconnected system. And that's terrifying and exciting in equal measure. What if the very cells meant to protect your brain are also the ones contributing to its decline? Or what if we could harness this process to deliver therapies that have never reached the brain before? Think about it. Drugs that can't cross the blood-brain barrier could now be delivered via engineered immune cells. That's not just science fiction. It's the next frontier of medicine. But here's the catch. This isn't a silver bullet. Aging brains are already dealing with a storm of inflammation, and introducing more immune cells might not always be a good thing. What many people don't realize is that clonal hematopoiesis, the process that allows these mutations to spread, is actually linked to a reduced risk of Alzheimer's. Wait, that's counterintuitive. If these cells are causing inflammation, why would they lower Alzheimer's risk? That suggests there's a complex interplay here, and we're only scratching the surface. What this really suggests is that the immune system's role in the brain is far more nuanced than we ever imagined. And that means we need to stop thinking of the brain as a static organ and start seeing it as a battlefield where immune cells are both soldiers and saboteurs. So what's next? This research opens the door to therapies that could use bone marrow-derived cells to target neurodegenerative diseases. But it also forces us to confront some uncomfortable truths about aging. If our immune system is literally rewriting our brains as we get older, what does that mean for our cognitive health? Are we looking at a future where we can reset our brains using our own immune cells? Or are we heading toward a scenario where our body's natural defenses become our greatest threat? One thing is certain, this discovery isn't just changing how we treat diseases, It's changing how we think about the brain itself. And that's a conversation worth having.